Good afternoon, everybody. I'm happy to see everybody's here for this afternoon meeting. Good afternoon, council member. Thank you for joining us. Good afternoon, everybody else. We're going to go ahead and try and get through this special meeting agenda and information pretty, quickly. I think it's really important that we stay pretty task focused in today's meeting and ensure that we capture all of the items that we needed to that we have down. So just to confirm, I sent you all out the note attachment and the information. So you should have had a chance to review that so that we can make sure that you have received the information and that you're completely understand of everything that we got going. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and share the agenda. Bear with me. All right. So we can go ahead, Feng Yi, again, since you're the most senior person in the commission, we'll go ahead and allow you to get started.
All right, so I call this meeting to order at 4:04 p.m. So the first order of business would be the Pledge of Allegiance. Right. So if we could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance or do our best to. Right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
All right, let me go ahead and reshare. Okay.
All right, so next order of business will be roll call. I actually don't have a list of all of the commissioners.
No problem. So I'll call out the commissioners, and then commissioners, if you can say if you're present or not. All right. So Feng Yi.
Present.
Nidhi.
Present.
Elizabeth.
Present.
Nia.
Present.
Crystal. And Rachel.
Present.
Awesome. Thank you. So there'll be no seating of alternates. So we're good on that. And then we can go ahead and move on to the approval of the agenda.
All right, so approval of agenda. So I motion to approve the agenda for September 15th, 2021. My name is Feng Yi Huang.
Thank you, Feng Yi.
May I get a second?
I, Rachel Plummer, second.
All right. All in favor say aye. Feng Yi, aye. Nidhi?
Aye.
Elizabeth?
Aye.
Nia?
Aye.
Crystal?
Aye.
And Rachel?
Aye.
I don't think I skipped. All right.
No, you're good.
Yeah. Any opposed say nay. Motion passes. So then let's see. Is there any public forum today?
I do not see on my end. Fong, if you can confirm, sorry, I can't see that screen right now. Let's see here. Nope, no attendees, so we can go ahead and move forward.
All right, so let's move on to the 8th item, which is business items. So first thing is the work plan for 2021 to 2022. The background: at the beginning of each term, the Youth Advisory Commission develops a work plan for the upcoming term. This plan encompasses goals for the commission. Preparation of this work plan will be presented to City Council for approval. So recommendation is to create a timeline for all items on the work plan to be completed. Address last year's work plan and what can be rolled over. The timeline should include dates, times, and venues. Make recommendation for 2021 to 2022 work plan for City Council final approval. Awesome. I think in the email you sent out like a work plan draft.
Correct. Yep. So I sent out the work plan draft to everybody that we've worked on and put together. So ultimately what we're looking at here, as you guys can see on the screen, the 3 key items that we're looking to tackle with this year's work plan is volunteerism, obviously working at the teen center, and engaging youth and teens. I want to be very honest in saying that it's really important that we ensure that we're not overdoing ourselves as we're going through this work plan, and making sure that what we're doing is realistic for moving forward. So essentially what we would be doing here is looking at this task list that we have set up, and just look at what we think is actually possible. And if you need clarification on the items, I can further do so. So we'll go down, one by one. Obviously, number 1, we're going to identify the events in need of service. So that's something that you guys are ongoing the entire work plan year, as far as different areas or things of that sort that we need to address. The second of which would be establishing your subcommittees. So you guys would be, volunteering for your own subcommittees in reflection of the tasks items on the work plan. The third of which is holiday magic. So the city of Milpitas is going to be doing a large holiday magic event this year. So we would expect the commission to participate in some sort of volunteer capacity at this event. We have discussed internally the set of teen days that we'll be having at the winter magic event, to which we would ask of the commission to participate and volunteer and provide feedback and resources. So that's something that we'll work on together. And then kind of in cohesion with that is the Milk and Cookies event with Santa that we've had in the past that will take place in December. To which we've in the past had commissioners come volunteer, help us run certain stations, and really give you an opportunity to engage the community. The next of which is the bike repair event. So we did a bike repair event a few months ago that we ran out of the sports center, I believe, to which we did some bike repair for those that were in need. We're looking to potentially launch this with a partner that we have for more teen driven, for those that need bike repairs, teen and youth driven, to do so and do that. As far as youth commission advocacy, so each commission can have a youth participant within the commission. You wouldn't be a voting member, but what we really wanted to do as a commission is encourage you all to get the information out to the fellow community, whether that's classmates, friends, people that that are teens, to allow for that participation. I think it's really important, especially if it's an area that they have some interest in. We do have a plethora of commissions, so it's really important to look at those. Number 7 would be health and mental wellness. So we're really going to want to look and see how we can put together something that addresses that within the commission. And that could be an event that we do that we'll kind of look to put together to provide basically opportunities to promote this information and also allow for you guys to address this within the community. As far as intergenerational programming for teens at the teen center, so this is ongoing, as we're always looking for different opportunities for our teens to work with other generations within the community, whether that's the senior demographic or the youth demographic. So we'll continue to look at those. And then the last 2 on here, so the coding competition and the spelling bee. So this has been done in the past to provide an opportunity for you all to fundraise and allow you to get funds to which we can allocate towards the youth commission events. And notoriously speaking, we've utilized this for the youth advisory scholarship. So it'll be good to build that stuff together. So with that being said, I want to get an idea from the commission as to how you feel in reference to the draft that we've kind of put together. And then we can actually build out and select subcommittees now, if we like, for that. And that way we can go ahead and put that into place and start working on that in future meetings.
That sounds like a good idea, because what we do a lot in the commission is like make subcommittees to really work on certain events. Like I know in the past I've been part of the, I think it was the mental health awareness as well as the coding competition subcommittees, or I might be. But I think forming like subcommittees for these events would be a really good idea right now.
Yeah, I think what's most important is for everyone at the commission to take a look at this kind of list and seeing if it's realistic. And then once you guys are okay, or if you are okay, or if there's things that you want to see change, we will then approve this draft so that we can push it forward and present this to council. Anybody have any comments?
So I personally think the draft looks pretty good right now. Although, Anthony, can I actually ask if it would be possible to, because I know in the past Milpitas held like a math and logic competition, but I'm not sure how like Milpitas feels about that.
So I think, you know, I don't know if that's something you guys, that would be the time to discuss that with the group. And we really just want to make sure we don't overwhelm and add items. If we're going to do something, we definitely want to look at what's been successful in the past, to which the coding competition and the spelling bee has been good. The spelling bee specifically, because it's been driven towards both youth and teens. So if that's something that you would want to do, we probably want to think about replacing one with the other potentially, so that you guys don't get too overwhelmed with too many things. Any comments from anybody else in reference to this? I think it's definitely something we need to kind of go through, and if you guys feel comfortable with the information that's here, we then can approve and move forward. And then that way we can present to council, unless you guys want to make edits or additions, you know, to what's here now.
So what subcommittees are you proposing we establish?
So the subcommittees you're going to want to look at here is you're going to want to look at a subcommittee for health and mental awareness, or sorry, health and mental wellness. I would propose. I would propose another one for the coding competition. I would propose another one for the spelling bee, and then everything else you all can work cohesively as a group on. So that's what I would look at. And generally, I believe that the subcommittees can be 3 persons or less. So it's any which combination of you that you guys would like to join, so that we can go ahead and go forward with those.
Yeah.
So is everybody good with the items you see, or is there any, you know, negative thoughts or things that you don't like, I should say? It's time to speak up if you guys have comments, definitely, because this is going to be something that you guys are going to present to council and move forward with, if that's, you know, the choice.
Personally, I think that everything on this list looks pretty good right now. It's stuff that we've definitely done in the past, and we have we have experience on like how to move forward with it.
Okay, so with that being said, Bingy, if you wanted to, you know, make a motion for the approval of this draft for us to push forward, we can do so, and then we can take that to a vote, and then we can quickly establish some subcommittees, and then we can move forward to our next item.
All right. So then, I motion to approve the Youth Advisory Commission work plan for 2021 to 2022. Oh yeah, my name is Fei Huang. I should keep remembering to do that. May I get a second?
I, Nidhi Kaki, second that motion.
All in favor say aye. Fengi, aye. Rachel,
Aye.
Nia,
Aye.
Crystal,
Aye.
Nidhi,
Aye.
Elizabeth.
Aye.
I think that is everyone. Any opposed say nay. Motion passes.
All right, so thank you for that. So let's look at those three different areas and let's establish these subcommittees so that we know what we can start thinking about for our next meeting as far as getting these ideas together to present them to the group. So if you have interest in a specific area, you guys can speak up. And again, you know, these committees, I believe, have to be 3 persons or less. So the first one, as mentioned, was the health and mental wellness.
Yeah. So if you're interested in that, being in that subcommittee, you can just speak up and say that you would like to be in that subcommittee. So I guess I'll take the initiative. So I Feng Huang am interested in being in like the health and mental wellness subcommittee.
Okay.
I, Rachel Plummer, am also interested in being in the mental health subcommittee.
Thank you, Rachel. Anyone else?
I, Nia Gupta, am interested in the health and mental wellness subcommittee.
Great. All right. So then let's go ahead and push forward the coding competition. Who has interest in that?
I Feng Huang have interest in being in the subcommittee for the coding competition.
Thank you.
I, Nidhi Kaki, have interest in being the subcommittee of the coding competition.
I, Elizabeth Jane, am also interested in the coding competition subcommittee.
Thank you. All right. And last but not least, the spelling bee.
I, Krista Huang, am interested in being in the subcommittee of the spelling bee.
Okay.
I, Rachel Plummer, am also interested in being in the spelling bee subcommittee.
Okay.
I, Nia Gupta, am also interested in being in the spelling bee subcommittee.
Awesome. All right. So we got that wrapped up. So now that we have that, what's going to be important for moving forward to our next meeting in preparation for October is to start thinking about the ideas and things that you want to do, or the ideas that you have. And then basically we'll present those to the group within your subcommittee at our next meeting in October. So keep that down with that information so that you're ready to go for that. So we can go ahead now that we're wrapped up on that. Feng-Yi, we can move on to item number 2.
All right, so let's move on to item number 2 in today's agenda, which in business items, which is Halloween teen event planning. So the background is the Youth Advisory Commission plans events throughout the year in partnership with the Milpitas Teen Center. So the recommendation is for the commissioners to finalize full details of the event.
All right, so let's move on to the notes. We have confirmed that this is going to take place on October 29th. I went ahead and checked, and homecoming is actually on the 23rd. So obviously we don't want to compete with that because that may be a little tough. I know that you guys already confirmed on the time of 5 to 9. So now we need to get into the specific questions and things of that sort. So Feng-Yi, I'll let you go ahead and navigate through the questions so that we can go ahead and start getting things locked in.
So the first thing is like, what specific things will we be doing? Because we've done a lot of like small, I guess you could call them stations in the past. So the first thing is like arts and crafts, paint night style. I think somebody last time had the idea of doing arts and crafts thing, and then I think, was it you that proposed like the paint, similar to paint night?
Yeah, I know that Rachel had mentioned last meeting. Obviously, it's important for you guys, or at least that you guys think that when you guys are doing stuff like this, that it's something that you guys can physically take away and take home, and something that you'll get something out of it. And I know that that's been something that's pretty popular. And if that's something you guys expressed interest in, we definitely, that's an option. And if that's something that you guys, want to utilize, again, there's 2 spaces inside of the teen center to which there's classrooms to where we can have these going on, during this event. But it would probably be a set time. I would specifically say during the event, for people to step away and do it. So if that's something you want to do, I can start, kind of working through that and seeing if we can get someone to come in and do that for us, if that's what you want to do.
So I personally, I think that I'm in favor of like a paint night thing. It would be really interesting to be able to learn from somebody and take home like art. But how does the rest of the commission feel about this?
I agree. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Anybody else?
I think one thing to keep in mind is to figure out what instructor we need to have to, kind of guide us through the painting.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up, Elizabeth. So that's something that I'll work on my end. If this is something that you guys want to do, I can work on my end to see whom we can, get out for this, to help us out. So that's something that I will work on myself, and deliver that information at our next meeting.
Is everyone in favor of like a painting station?
And if you guys are nodding, remember, not everyone can see you. So just say your name and so that we know who's who.
Do we have to hold like this to a vote?
No, this doesn't have to be a vote. This is more so an event planning. So if this is something you guys collaboratively wanted to do within the specifics, it doesn't have to be voted on, I don't believe.
Right. So I guess something to ask is, does anybody have like any other thoughts about this, or isn't really a fan of this idea? Right. Or are there any other comments about this before we move on to like the next item?
I'm just curious, do we already have supplies, or would we need to purchase supplies for this activity?
So we'll look to purchase the supplies for it. But I believe that, and I will find out and confirm, with us getting the vendor to do the actual painting, I believe that it would come with the supplies. So I'm going to verify for you.
So I guess then the next item would be trivia. So I believe last week we thought of like doing multiple events in the auditorium area, such as holding movies, and then possibly having just a schedule for that area. So at a certain time you'll do a movie. And one of our ideas was to have trivia during that time. So trivia is like, what the first thing is like, what platform? I know we talked about Kahoot. Somebody mentioned was it Blue Kit, I think it was called. And then also what questions we'll be using for the trivia. So at least for me, I think the trivia is a pretty good idea. We could have it be like a mini competition where if you score high enough, I know Kahoot has like a podium thing, like top 3 or top 5 people could win prizes that we would decide on. What's everybody's ideas on this?
And again, everyone, sorry. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, it's fine. But I was just thinking, yeah, having the auditorium on a schedule would be nice. Like for the first hour or so, then they run Kahoots and like mini games that people can log into with their phones. And then after that hour or so, then you can start a movie. And then maybe you could do something else after the movie if our event is going to be 4 hours long.
Okay. And
Yeah,
then
I
Elizabeth,
agree.
go ahead.
I agree with that. And also about the Kahoot or the trivia, I'm not very familiar with the blue that software, but I am with Kahoot and I know that they have a team feature. So that would be very easy on our part since it's already programmed in the game. And also they have I guess like pre-completed questions or like trivia questions. So we can borrow from there.
So we're looking at the platform of Kahoot, and then we'll do the pre-determined questions. Did anybody want to take the lead on putting the questions together or getting the predetermined list together?
I'm not quite sure what type of questions we should use. Should it be like random trivia or?
You guys can theme this however you want. I think maybe, obviously since we're talking Halloween time, maybe something along those lines. But again, it's completely up to you.
Yeah, I was thinking of like maybe some Halloween type trivia, like what was Halloween called before it was known as Halloween? Maybe some trivia about popular Halloween movies, that type of.
Okay. So did anybody want to take the lead on that in finding those within the platform? And that's something that we'll definitely bring to the next meeting as we be our kind of final iron out of the details for that. Because then at our next meeting, we'll talk about final details, setup, and everything like that, so that all of that stuff's ready to go after that. So again, if somebody wants to take the lead on those, that'd be helpful.
I could find a few Kahoots. Like, there's a lot of Disney themed trivia and like trivia about a bunch of different subjects, and that I think would be fun.
Sounds good. Thank you, Rachel.
Anything else to add about the trivia?
So just to clarify, you guys are going to look to do like an hour or maybe 45 minutes worth. I know that you want to let people trickle in. So basically from that 5 to 6 hour, you'll have Kahoots running. Basically, I mean, how long do these last? I believe the last one I did was about 5 to 10 minutes.
I think it depends on how many questions and then how much time we give. Because I know in Kahoot you can set like a specific amount of time before the question closes.
Okay. So how many of these do you all think you want to do as far as these little Kahoot games within that hour?
Personally, I think we could pull off maybe 3-ish, because I feel like if you do too many Kahoots, then people might get disinterested afterwards.
Okay. So 3 games within the hour. All right. Great. That's helpful. All right. I think we can move on to the next item.
All right. So the next item is movie. So first is like selection. There's like I believe there's a large projector in the auditorium that and then like a screen that we pull down to show the movie. So we just have to decide on like what movies or movie to show. I don't know if we'll be able to do more than one movie, because movies are like 1 to 2 hours long generally.
Yeah, so I know in the information that I sent over to you all, and I know we kind of talked about it, did anybody do any research or come up with some ideas of those movie selections?
I'm not really familiar with movies, but I've heard like in my classroom that some people have been watching a movie called 上次, The Legend of the Ten Rings or something like that.
I think that could work, although because this is like a Halloween themed event, I think we should cater towards more like a Halloween movie.
Okay.
Also, I want to clarify, didn't someone say something at the last meeting about people being able to bring their younger siblings? So it would need to be like a really family-friendly movie that everyone's interested in.
Yeah, I think you all discussed an animated one. So, you know, with that being said, we'll have to really nail down what that's going to be because we'll have to get the licensing for it and everything like that.
Personally, I think last time we were talking about Coraline or Hotel Transylvania, those movies similar to those where it's animated and good for both kids and teens.
Okay, so of those two, what would you guys like to select?
Personally, I think I would watch Hotel Transylvania just because I think kids really like it and just like people of all ages.
Yeah, I think Coraline might be a little overplayed now. Cause at school they show it a lot and probably a lot of people have watched that, so maybe we could go along with one of the Hotel Transylvanias.
Okay. Anyone opposed to that?
I think that's good. I think we should stick with the first one though too, because we don't want to like stick people into a second movie when they possibly haven't seen the first.
Yeah, I think that that's going to be tough if you guys try to show two within that range, and then you're also going to want to think of the other things that you're doing.
Yeah, it's a 4-hour interval. Let me see how long the first Hotel Transylvania is. It's wait. Like the first one's 1 hour and 30 minutes.
That would definitely align with your schedule. And then that would leave you with, you know, if you started it right at 6, then that leaves you, you know, 1 hour and 30 minutes to do paint night, game stuff, and, you know, you can get all your snacks and stuff like that beforehand. So is everyone good with that?
Is paint? I think. Wait, paint night's gonna be in like a different room than the auditorium, right?
Yes. Yep. And I think, and I'll need to confirm if that has to be one solid time period, so that there's not multiple you know, things. One thing to also think about, we had a message here, is Adam's Family is coming out with a new movie too, the animated one. So I don't know if that's something you guys may be of interest to. It is a new movie, so that may draw more people in. But again, completely up to you all.
I think the Adams Family could work too. Wait. So is the Adams Family one? I'm not sure if that's like an animated movie, but the Adams
No,
Family.
it's a new one, I believe.
It's
Yeah,
the second of the animated series, so it's Adam's Family 2. It looks pretty interesting though. Since it's a new movie, we would be able to show the second one and like not have issues with it, I guess.
Yeah, and it looks like that one is, trying to see how long it is.
Well, it hasn't released yet, so I don't think they've released how long it is yet.
Yeah.
It releases October 1st, apparently, it seems.
So at least we'll have an idea, and obviously it's going to be along that line, you know, anywhere an hour 20, hour to hour 20, hour 30. So it could be the same thing. So is that what are you guys good with that? Obviously you want to think that that movie, since it's new, may draw in, you know, more people.
Yeah, I think a new movie would draw more people than an older one.
Okay. So if so, I mean, you guys can make a motion on that and then vote, since that is a voted item.
All right, so I just say I Feng Huang vote to have the Addams Family 2 as the movie for the Halloween Teen Center event. Can I get a second?
I, Rachel Plummer, second.
So all in favor say aye. Fengy, aye. Crystal,
I,
Elizabeth,
Aye.
Nia,
Aye.
Nidhi,
Aye.
Rachel.
I,
Is that everyone?
I think so.
All right. So then any opposed say nay. All right, motion passes. So the
Right.
next thing is CC sweet treats. So we're probably gonna have snacks and like food at the event. So just like what type of food would we like?
Yeah, so we're going to want to think of snacks. And then also, I know that CSU's has done a good job with doing like presentations of different types of things and styles, for offerings, to which I can follow up on. I just want to confirm if, we wanted to have just general snacks out, what those little snacks may be, and then we can have, some more, larger items. Like I said, maybe it's one savory thing, one sweet thing, or if you want to do two savories, or if you want to do just one like themed item that'll be there, then we can do that.
For CC Sweet Treats, are we like making stuff like how it usually is, or is just gonna be stuff out there?
So we can. So that's what we're asking about here, is if that's what you guys want to do, or if that's what you all want to do, we can request that. And if we're doing that, then it'd probably be one item, just with a bunch of different snacks.
Let's see. So I think we could do like some Halloween themed stuff, like maybe Halloween themed cupcakes or something.
Anybody else?
is there like a selection that we get to choose from? Or
So this is something that it's really up to you guys, and I can bring this over once you guys decide on what you would like to do. Like if we wanted to say something sweet, I can then take that over to the teen center and the person that oversees CCs to see what's possible. And then we can bring that back to the October meeting and say, okay, this is what's been presented. So generally, like Nidhi said, when you go to CC Sweet Treats, they'll do like a presentation where you guys are actually making it, so we can have the ability for people to get a little instruction and kind of create something on their own. It's just really dependent on what that would be.
I think another idea could be like sugar cookies, and then like the people could decorate it with frosting, with like black and orange frosting and then sprinkles.
Okay.
I think that's a pretty great idea.
I'm not sure about how sanitary this would be, but caramel apples are always a favorite, and I feel like that's sort of a classic Halloween thing that's not too overdone.
Okay. So if I'm kind of seeing how the conversation is going, you guys would like to see something sweet, whether that's a cookie design, or I can check in to see if caramel apples are possible. So I can take down those ideas. So we said cupcakes, caramel apple, and cookies. So I'll check into those unless you guys have any more suggestions to see if that's feasible.
As far as sweets go, I feel like we could also get some although this probably won't be from CC Sweet Treats, but as far as treats go, we could probably get some candy.
I think for the sweets, we can, or for the event in particular, I guess, maybe we could do some sort of like trick-or-treating thing at like each of the stations or something like that.
Like when you complete an activity, you get like a little thing of candy.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay. Anybody else? Ideas?
Can I just branch out a bit and like talk about like food for the event?
Sure.
So regarding food, because people who want to stay like maybe from 5 to 9, we could also have some bigger items like maybe order a few pizzas from somewhere.
Yeah, I'm gonna check in to see into some donations, see if we have somebody that'd be interested in doing so. Because there have been some in the past, whether that's like a round table pizza or we can go look at like I'll check around to see what or whom is interested. I think also too, being that it's Halloween, it's a little cooler. I can check and see if any of the coffee groups would like to come and maybe set up like a hot chocolate station. Assuming that it's going to be the cooler weather, that's an option as well.
Yeah. I was also thinking we could do like a lot of the food could be free, but we could also do like a few sales. Like if people want to buy, I know boba is usually a really popular option. We could sell that.
Yeah, you would have to predetermine, obviously, and we would have to work with whomever, whichever boba shop to see what's possible for that. Being that it is, this quick turnaround, I would think that you may be a little weary in doing the sale for, the first one coming back. However, that is a great idea for your events moving forward. So like your spelling bee, your coding competition, you guys can do those during that time. I think that would be a good idea too. So, that's something that we can address in the future. If you like, we could see if it's possible for this event. I just don't know if we'll have enough time.
Yeah, I think the timing we might be able to move it to like a future event though.
Okay. All right. So what I have thus far is I'll check into the 3 suite items to see if we can do what we can do and configure, costs and stuff like that for these. And then I will check into the sponsors to see if we can get some donations for like pizza, maybe a hot chocolate station. I think that would be cool. Does anybody else have any other suggestions? I know the candy stations at each table would be great. That's a great suggestion. I like that idea.
May I add something on the sweet treats?
Sure.
So I was thinking like probably we could have like a small like section for like maybe people who have like food allergies. Because I know like with like cupcakes and stuff, some people are allergic to eggs and they kind of feel a little left out because they can't have those. So I was thinking like probably like a section of foods for people who have food allergies.
Okay, so in preparation for that, I think it would be good to identify what are those most common ones, because then we can ask that as well with CCs. I know obviously peanuts or nuts in general generally is a pretty big ticket allergy. Can anybody else think of others off the top of your head?
Well, typically it's like the main 8, and I can't really list them off the top of my head, but well, actually maybe I can because I know a lot about allergies. But peanuts, dairy, eggs, shellfish, even though that really doesn't apply. It's just if you look up like the big 8 or like the big 6 or something, you'll be able to find which ones are the most common.
Anybody in the commission want to look those up really quickly so we can go over them?
I searched it up and it says soybeans, peanuts, milk, wheat, eggs, fish, which means brass, flounder, and cod, and then shellfish, crab, crayfish, lobster, and shrimp, and then tree nuts, almonds, walnuts, and pecans.
Okay, so I'll bring that allergy kind of stuff over, and that's a great idea, Nia, for, you know, an all-inclusive opportunity for others that can't have those things. So I'll see what we can put together with CCs for that. Was there any other items for CCs?
I do want to mention, I don't think caramel apples would have a problem with any of those allergies, unless there was something in the caramel. And then also maybe we should look into something besides pizza, because people do pizza a lot, and maybe there's something that's more allergy friendly.
Okay, so what are some things?
Let me do a little bit of research.
Okay, so I think what may be good is, Rachel, if you want to do that research for that and bring that to the next meeting, or we can connect on that and see, you know, whatever that item is, so that we can get obviously the biggest piece is being able to reach out. If it's for donations, we got to reach out early. So I'll still make the ask, you know, for pizza. And while you're kind of looking through this now, as we continue to go through these, this attachment, if you can, you know, let me know before we end today, that'd be great. Did we have any other suggestions for this item, or can we move forward?
Wait, I have something to say. And like many people like boba right now, so for our main food, maybe we could do something like sushi, since that's kind of like combined with boba. It's kind of like what people like nowadays, I think.
Well, the main thing is that I think that would be expensive and then pretty hard to find, as well as sushi isn't exactly the most filling thing. So I think I don't know if it's like, it sounds like a good idea, but I'm wondering how viable it is for such a large scale event.
Also, going back to the allergy thing, a lot of shrimp has fish in it, and just you can't really be sure, especially for like, in my personal experience, I can't eat a Panda Express at all because they like share utensils and things. So there's always that risk involved when you're buying from a shop that uses like an allergen at all.
Okay. So while while Rachel is doing her research, is there anything else you guys would like to add, or can we move forward? All right, so I'll take that as being able to move forward. Fengi, if you want to go ahead and move on to the next item.
All right, so the next item is games. I know that we have like a Nintendo Switch, and I think we have like a PS4.
Yeah, I know for sure we have a Nintendo Switch. I'm not sure on the PS4. I do know that we do have different types of games available. Like we have a large Jenga, we have cornhole and things like that that we can set up just outside of the center. I think that would be good. And obviously, since you guys are already doing the Kahoot, that's kind of a lot of stuff that you already have. So as far as the Nintendo Switch, is there a specific kind of game you guys would like to play that's just kind of running, you know, people can hop on and play during the entire period? I think that, you know, obviously having the Jenga and the Connect 4 and the cornhole and stuff like that will allow for some variety. So being that you'll have the Nintendo Switch, I just need to know what kind of game is popular now that you guys think would be fun to have running.
I think somebody's raising their hand in the attendees.
I don't. C1.
There's one attendee.
There is one attendee.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Fong, can you go ahead and let that person in? Sorry, I'm having trouble on my end with that.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Sorry, I don't want to mispronounce your name. Urvish Kumar.
Yes, Urvish Kumar.
Hi.
Thank you. Hi, thank you very much for the opportunity to speak. Good evening to all the commissioners of the Youth Commission. Just wanted to provide a comment as a public speaker on the CC sweet trees. So when you have an event like a movie, I think it would be appropriate to provide either one savory or one sweet theme. Now, keeping one savory item, also have to make sure that that has to be a nutritional, or with having the selection, with having the sweet treats being savory, it would be hard to have an inclusion of a savory and sweet both at the same time. So it is important to evaluate, not to undermine the cause. However, what is to emphasize more on that, what on the event, that what should be the menu as a part of items that is required to be made eatables for the event, considering that it's a movie, either having a pizza or making sure about that. If not being pizza, then what would be the replacement of something that would be a more appropriate, maybe a popcorns and a drink.
Okay, thank you. Sorry to cut you off, but we're coming up on the 1 minute timer. I'll give you a couple more seconds to wrap up.
So that would be more helpful for the event, to provide a right set of a selection along with one of the savory item as well. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you for the comment. So that is a good point to bring up. I definitely can take that back to CCs to see what's available. Obviously, they do provide a good balance of some different items for us to provide. So I'll confirm to see what's available as far as a healthy savory item. All right. So moving back to that item.
Games.
Yes. So what games are we looking at here?
So I know that a pretty good, like, popular game that you could play with multiple people is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. The games don't take that long either, so people could rotate out.
Okay. Anyone else? Any ideas? I think having one game running the entire time is good. It's less to worry about as far as like switching things in and out. So having something that just can run and people can kind of hop on whenever available, I think is a good idea. All right. Well, Fangy, since that's the only recommendation, you can go ahead and make that motion if you like.
Right. So does it have to be an actual motion?
Yeah.
All right. So I think Huang motion that at the Halloween Teen Center reopening event, we have a station for games, and we include Super Smash Bros. Ultimate as one of those games. May I get a second?
Lady Cocky, second that motion.
All right. All in favor say aye. Fangy, aye. Crystal?
Aye.
Elizabeth?
Aye.
Nia?
Aye.
Nidhi?
Aye.
Rachel?
Aye.
All right. Any opposed, say nay. Motion passes. So we can move on to the next thing, which is decorations that we would need.
Yeah, so we'll want to think of a general decoration kind of idea theme. This could be something that we bring back to our next meeting, because we can purchase these things, or maybe some things that we already have. I know that, at the teen center, they do a good job of decorating. So I would think that it would be already pretty jazzed up already. So is there anything in specific that you guys would like to see?
I think that just having a lot of Halloween decorations would make it fit the theme quite well.
And I can see what we have available. We do host events ourselves, and we do have some things that we can utilize for sure. And ultimately, we would be able to, bring those items, and then you guys would all set them up in preparation for that. So, again, I know that we said just Halloween. Is there anything in specific? And I'm trying to get specific so that if there's anything that specifically you do need, I want to make sure that we have it or we can get it for that event.
I think that like adding on to the Halloween decorations, maybe we could have some like fall related decorations.
Okay. And I'll confirm to see what we already have. So thank you for that. Anything else? Okay, so we'll just kind of stick with that. I'll see what I can get put together, and I will have those items kind of presented, and we'll have a bunch of stuff just ready to kind of put out when we get there. It's kind of hard for us to visualize it without physically being there. So we'll have to think about station and table setup, to which we could talk about at the next meeting in specific, and then we'll have an idea of what those items could be. So. All right, moving on.
All right. Next thing is marketing directions. So we're probably gonna send out like a flyer, and we need to decide like things to put on the flyer.
Yep. So I'm gonna stop sharing so that we can all kind of see each other now. All right. So what are the types of things that we would like to see on the flyer? We talked about fall theme. We talked about Halloween theme. We have a specific style that we generally try to stick to as far as the information which I can put together. I just need a general idea of what you guys want to see on the flyer. And that, could be the specific theme of the flyer itself and how we want it to look, colors and things of that sort. And then the rest of the information I can start to put together.
I think a really big thing to put on the flyer is the food, just because like speaking from experience, that's what most teens are attracted to. Yeah.
I think maybe you can put something like about the movie, like which movie you're going to play, or what's going to happen in the auditorium, something like that.
So we're thinking like food, prizes, movie, name of the movie, showing X movie, series of games, things of that sort. Anything else you guys want on there?
We could even put like, maybe there'll be like one flyer that's like big and just saying the event, but if we like have the opportunity to send out like a PDF flyer, then it could have more details on it, like saying we're showing a movie at this time and we're doing trivia at this time and this is the room we're doing painting in or whatever.
So we can make one flyer with that stuff that can be both electronic and paper, which is not hard for us to do. Generally, we can do those in cohesion with each other. And then that information we can provide in paper for you all to give out. We can deliver them to the high schools. We can send them out via, email. You guys can share them with your classes and things of that sort. That'll be good. And I can get that placed in, flyer put together, and try and get that out, within the next couple weeks. I think it needs to get out, and we'll have to get that out to you, and then we can market it, and we'll have to market really hard for 6 weeks solid. So general theme, what is the general theme that you want on the flyer?
I was thinking of like a Halloweenish theme with orange and black being the main colors.
Okay. Oh, one other thing I just thought about. Did you guys want people to come in costume? I just thought about that. It's an option. You don't have to. We can put, that it's optional. But I know that that's important to include, on a flyer, whether if it is or is not, because you don't want just one person showing up in a costume and not everybody else, or vice versa.
Oh, I think we could put that people could show up in their costumes since it's very close to Halloween.
Okay.
Also, do we want to say that you can like bring your whole family? Do we want to make this a family event?
Yeah, I know we talked about that the last meeting, that's something we would want to do. So we can put family friendly or bring your family.
Because I don't want like people to just like, most of the people show up with their friend group, but then there's like a few students who show up with their families and they're like,
yeah.
Haha.
So yeah, we can include that on there, that it is a family friendly event. We'll encourage bringing their families, which I think will be good. And then the theme, Halloween, orange, black. So I'll put together kind of a flyer concept, and I'll get it over to our marketing group to put together so that we can, get it put together pretty quickly. We'll create a RSVP so that we can get an idea of how many people are coming, because that'll help us on the food front. Is there anything else we would like to add to that flyer? I think you guys hit all of the big pieces of it for sure. But anything else we or I have missed? All right. I don't, we got another question. Oh, go ahead, council member. Sorry, I didn't realize it was you.
Thank you, Anthony. Really great discussions, everyone, commissioners and Anthony, doing the expediting. I was gonna include on the flyer, if you can say it's free, so they know they're not obligated to pay anything. Is that okay, commissioners?
Yeah, I think that would be a pretty good thing to include.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, council member. Yeah, we can put it, usually we'll put it in the top left or right corner, free, or we can put it multiple times in multiple places so that people know. So that'll be good. But if you guys don't have anything else to add to the flyer, I just wanted to make a general comment to the second item for the notes, which is making sure you're marketing out the information to your community. So this is your event. It's going to be really important. We're going to push out the information, but we also need all of you as commissioners to get the information out to your community. You are, the liaisons to the council from the teen perspective or the youth, the youth perspective. So it's important that we know that you're going to be able to get out the information, get it out to your classmates, to your schools, to your advisors, so that they can get the information out so that we can make this as successful as possible. So that's more of a comment, that I encourage for all of you. And I think what's going to be important is that once I get the flyer information ready to go and out, I then can send everything to you all, electronically, and we'll take care of the part of getting it out physically, to the high schools, to the middle schools. We'll get it out and make sure that it gets in the right hands. Does anybody have any general questions or comments? Because I think that's the last item on the attachment. Yep, that's the last item.
I think council member for Trot
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to lower my hand. Thank you, Chair.
Just checking.
Thank you, Pengy.
All right. Any comments?
I did come up with a few allergy-friendly items.
Okay.
Big one that I saw was like fruit kebabs, which I think would be fun and
Little
delicious. Also, there are ways to like make gluten-free and like you don't have to put eggs in fried rice. I don't know if there would be a place that would make us like allergy-friendly fried rice, but that is an option.
Well, sorry to cut you off, Rachel.
That's fine.
CC's does, they don't just do sweets. They do different items. That's savory items, that's healthy items. She does the A to Z. You know, she has the full kitchen. And when you guys get there, if you haven't been to the teen center, you'll see the full setup. It's a fully functional, amazing kitchen, and Jennifer over at CC's does an amazing job with that stuff. So she can put together, these creations. So if you guys have a general idea, she can kind of grab it and run with it. So the fruit kebab's a great option. That's a healthy option, for people to make, and they can kind of create their own. And then what was the other that you had mentioned?
I was looking at like fried rice that didn't contain any allergens. Also, other things that I put were like chips with veggie dip, chicken nuggets. If we wanted to like have something that still had wheat in it, then we could do chicken nuggets, but there's also like fries, so we wouldn't have to do that. Gluten-free mac and cheese, gluten-free pineapple upside down cake is just something that came to my mind.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got that stuff noted down. I'll see what we can put together, and I'll get the information sent out to the group so that you all know as well. And then in our next meeting, we'll have a set plan for what those food items are going to be. But this is great. A lot of information. I'll hopefully be sending you guys notes by the end of the week as far as a follow-up, as far as what we've got. But overall, I think we have a good general gist of what we need. So what's going to be important is preparation for our next meeting in October. I am not going to be there. However, someone will be there in my place, and I'll still fulfill the items that are necessary for that, so that you all will know. And then basically at that next meeting, we're going to wrap up in its entirety what is left, and finalize the last minute smaller details. So again, the event is planned for the 29th of October. So ideally, we would like to plan to set up, I think on the 28th may be a good idea, but I'm going to double check with the teen center and the other operational things that are functioning at the same time to make sure that we're, if we're out of the way, if we can come, on the 28th at some point, or if it's something we have to set up for earlier on the 29th, which may be right when you get out of school, since starting at 5 p.m. So keep that in mind. I personally would try and block out, the afternoon for Thursday if you can, and then also right when you get out of school on Friday. So make sure you prepare for that. Make sure that we all kind of come with those last minute details and everything like that. And for the next meeting, did anybody else have any comments? Okay, well, if we have no other comments, we got a lot of stuff done. Like I said, I'll try and get everybody those notes by Friday. And I think that's it. So Fengi, if you would like to adjourn the meeting, we'll be good to wrap up.
All right, so I think one call to adjourn this meeting at 5:12 p.m. Do I need a second for this?
Nope, that's it. You can just
All right,
adjourn.
so that's it. Have a great day, everyone.
All right, everybody. You have a great evening. Thank you all so much.
Have a
Thank
good evening.
you all.
Bye-bye.
Good job all.